The paradox of attention. Why jokes capture more attention than wisdom? There is a curious paradox in human communication. When someone speaks wisdom, few people seem to respond, but when they joke around, many pay attention. This raises the question, why are people more drawn to humor than to wisdom? This phenomenon is not a recent development but has roots in human psychology, culture, and history. To understand it, we must explore the ways humor and wisdom appeal to different parts of the human mind, how they serve different social functions, and why the two are often at odds in terms of public engagement. Throughout history, wisdom has been revered, yet those who share it often find themselves ignored or underappreciated. Meanwhile, humor, despite being seen as a lighter, less serious form of communication, draws in crowds and fosters social connection. Understanding why people gravitate more toward jokes than wisdom involves unpacking the social, psychological, and cognitive mechanisms that govern attention and engagement. At the core of why jokes capture attention more readily than wisdom lies the human brain's preference for ease. Humor generally triggers an immediate emotional response, laughter, while wisdom requires deeper cognitive engagement. When people hear a joke, they experience a form of cognitive relief known as benign violation theory, a term coined by psychologists Peter McGraw and Caleb Warren. This theory suggests that humor arises when something is perceived as a violation of expectations but is also harmless, allowing people to resolve the incongruity with laughter. It's a form of mental shortcut that doesn't require deep analysis but still provides a sense of satisfaction and shared experience. In contrast, wisdom demands thought, reflection, and often challenges the listener to reconsider their beliefs or assumptions. Cognitive psychologist Daniel Kahneman explains this difference in his book Thinking, Fast and Slow, where he distinguishes between two systems of thinking. System 1, fast, intuitive, and emotional, and System 2, slow, deliberative, and logical. Humor appeals to System 1, providing immediate gratification without requiring much cognitive effort. Wisdom, on the other hand, appeals to System 2, which requires more mental energy. As a result, people are more likely to engage with jokes, which are easy and enjoyable, than with wisdom, which asks them to slow down and reflect. Another reason people are more responsive to humor than wisdom lies in the social function of jokes. Humor brings people together. It creates shared experiences, diffuses tension, and fosters group cohesion. From ancient times, humor has played a critical role in human society. In Homo Ludens, historian Johann Huizinga argues that play and laughter are foundational to human culture. Laughter, especially in groups, strengthens bonds by creating a sense of belonging and mutual understanding. Telling a joke or sharing a humorous observation allows people to connect on a basic, emotional level without the barriers that come with deeper, more serious conversation. Wisdom, by contrast, often disrupts the social order. Wise statements tend to challenge the status quo, encourage critical thinking, and force individuals to confront uncomfortable truths. This can make wisdom socially disruptive, especially in situations where people prefer to maintain a sense of comfort and consensus. Socrates, the classical Greek philosopher, was famously put to death in part because his wisdom threatened the Athenian social order. His method of questioning and probing deeper truths made people uncomfortable, and as Plato noted in the Apology, many Athenians resented Socrates for exposing their ignorance. Thus, wisdom, while valuable, can isolate or alienate the speaker from the broader group, whereas humor tends to unify. Humor also serves as a powerful coping mechanism, allowing people to deal with difficult or painful topics in a way that is more emotionally manageable. Sigmund Freud, in his book Jokes and Their Relation to the Unconscious, argued that humor allows people to express thoughts or feelings that would otherwise be socially unacceptable or too uncomfortable to confront directly. Jokes can help people address serious issues, such as politics, death, or inequality, without the weight of solemnity. For example, stand-up comedians often joke about sensitive topics such as race, gender, or politics. These are areas where wisdom might be more appropriate for thoughtful discussion, But humor allows people to explore the same issues in a way that feels safer and less confrontational. Satire, in particular, has long been a tool for critiquing power and authority without inciting direct conflict. Jonathan Swift's A Modest Proposal, published in 1729, is a famous example of using humor to address a serious social issue. In this case, poverty and overpopulation in Ireland. The absurdity of Swift's suggestion that the poor could sell their children as food forces the reader to think critically about the real social problems he is highlighting, but the humor makes the message more palatable. History is replete with examples of wise individuals whose insights were ignored or undervalued in their time. One of the most notable is Galileo Galilei, the Italian astronomer who supported the heliocentric model of the solar system. Despite providing compelling evidence that the Earth revolves around the Sun, Galileo's wisdom was met with resistance from the Catholic Church, which adhered to the geocentric model. His ideas were considered dangerous and heretical, leading to his eventual trial and house arrest. The Church's reluctance to embrace Galileo's wisdom was due, in part, to the discomfort it caused by challenging established beliefs. On a different note, historical figures like Winston Churchill demonstrated the power of humor in difficult times. During World War II, Churchill used humor to rally the British people and maintain morale, even in the face of adversity. His sharp wit and ability to make light of grim circumstances helped to unify and inspire a nation under siege. While Churchill was also wise and strategic, it was often his humor that captured public attention and won their affection. While humor may capture immediate attention, wisdom has a longer-lasting impact. Wise ideas, though initially overlooked or resisted, often endure and shape the course of history. In the moment, jokes may provide relief or entertainment, but wisdom offers the potential for transformation and growth. The philosopher Lao Tzu noted that, knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. This deeper level of self-awareness and reflection that wisdom offers has the potential to lead individuals and societies toward meaningful change, even if it does not always generate the same level of immediate engagement as humor. Moreover, in times of crisis or hardship, it is often wisdom that provides the guidance needed for survival and recovery. During the U.S. Civil Rights Movement, for example, leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. combined both wisdom and humor in their speeches and activism, but it was King's wisdom, his calls for justice, equality, and nonviolence, that had the most lasting impact. Humor and wisdom serve different purposes in human communication, and while humor may capture more immediate attention, wisdom has the potential to shape deeper, more lasting change. Humor appeals to our need for social connection, cognitive ease, and emotional relief, while wisdom challenges us to think critically, confront uncomfortable truths, and strive for greater understanding. Both humor and wisdom are necessary for a balanced life. As Mark Twain famously said, "Against the assault of laughter, nothing can stand." But just as laughter breaks down barriers, wisdom builds foundations upon which more thoughtful, reflective societies can grow. The key is not to choose one over the other, but to recognize the value of both. Wisdom may not always draw a crowd, but its power to transform lives and societies makes it indispensable.